roll out.
Yase assassin.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Actually, I'll be back. 1 sec.
Solid copy.
All right.
That actually hurt. My jaw almost got locked when I did that. Like, I'd look like Michael Phelps. A little bit of difference there. It's amazing you can swim that fast with that big old underbite. Can I have those little stamps with Jackie Robinson on them? Jeez, fucking dude. You can't tell me you've never been in that situation before. Where you're standing behind somebody that's already a long-ass line and you're already irritated about something or another. It's like, really? It's almost like the person in front of you knows. Ninjas with shuriken.
Niggas with shurikens. New Wu-Tang Clan album.
It totally does sound like something they would come up with. It just have like a bunch of guys like in like hood clothing like you know throwing fucking shurikens like it's toward the viewer.
I remember because yesterday we were talking about The Simpsons. I love the part with Uter, and he chose Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Where's the diorama? I begged you to
look at mine first.
I begged you. I really want to do an Idolmaster joke using that joke, because there's one of the Cinderella characters who's like slightly chubbier, but not barely. But of course, you know the fan art. So I want to do like the same thing.
Just post a picture and write fatty real big. Yeah, if you're gonna be a dick, you might as well go all out.
And she has her like image song is called Chocolate Tiara. So it's
as opposed to Chocolate Rain.
Well, it'd be like, where's the chocolate tiara she was supposed to wear? I begged you to let me sing first. I begged you.
They just have like a piece of it hanging out of her mouth. Uh-huh.
Well, just like chocolate on her mouth, yeah.
Sorry about that.
Ooter. Okay. I am
gonna play with Joy-Joys.
Give me a second.
Yeah. Hey, there's a Transformer in the new movie that looks exactly like Josh. You know, the Collection DX guy.
Yeah, but I don't know him though.
Yeah, I don't know what he looks like. I was confused for a second there.
Yeah, so he looks like Josh. Josh who?
Oh, alright, yeah. Seen. I thought you knew what he looked like.
I have no clue.
Bad. He's like an overweight guy with like a scraggly long beard. The Transformer looks just like.
Is it Transformer that looks like?
Yeah.
Bible baseball cards, basically. Those were funny. I was watching the thing on that. It's like, it's like, check it out.
And they're using
Joseph of Arimathea.
It's gonna be voiced by John Goodman.
It's just like he can like. I forgot how many, 32 conversions.
Oh, Methuselah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Methuselah rookie card. And it's like, religion, learning, let's get out of here.
All right, everyone ready?
Yes.
Basically, let me go ahead and let the world know.
Let me bring my levels up here so I actually register on the thing. Tell me if I'm getting too loud.
Okay.
And still going up, and fuck it. Or I could do this one. You see, this one actually kind of works better. Yeah, okay. Alright, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Check.
The only reason I'm still talking like this is just to find out if my levels are good. Yep. Yeah, that's about good. Am I too loud?
It sounds like you might be a wee bit.
Yeah, one notch
Let's
less.
bring it down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down. And how's that?
Check. Well, you need to talk.
Well, okay. How's that? Am I too loud? Am I too soft? Am I just right?
I don't know. I can't hear how we sound in comparison to it. You know.
How do I sound?
All of you are much louder than I am. Let's just say that, which is why I turn my levels up.
Oh.
It's not gonna matter at the end because I level it all out. But
Right.
I just like to have. I like to see that I'm actually registering on the waveform instead of just having a flat line while I'm talking.
That looks like you're a victim of
Yeah, it looks like I've undergone cardiac arrest.
you've fallen to the West Nile virus.
Yeah. Okay.
What the West Nile virus is doing in Connecticut, I don't know. But.
We actually had an outbreak of West Nile several years ago.
Didn't you have
Like,
one?
I was a child when it happened, but the West Nile virus was a concern several years ago. Anyway,
If I had that Haruhi poster right next to me, I would be licking Kyun's sister.
You would be licking Kyun's sister.
you would be.
Yeah, I said me. Yeah.
Now, see, that didn't work because I
You
pointed
told
and
me
you
joke.
can't see me do it.
Oh, is that
Okay.
a gel goog on the side?
Yes, Gelgoog Marine. It's holding its gun sideways like a gangster.
You know what you need to get down the line? The Gelgoog Jaeger.
I don't really like the Jaeger as much as the Marine for some
Really?
reason.
So I love
Not
the
really.
Jaeger design. Just wish it was a master grade.
Oh yeah.
Okay. People
Okay.
are probably like, "What the hell? It's live. What are you guys doing?"
All right.
I am ready.
Yep.
VZ, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to NTR Radio. I'm Tom Enforcer Anubis.
And I'm Pat Sajak. I'm K-Gods.
And I'm Casey Kasem. Whoever
Spin the
who's
wheel,
lost-
VZ.
It is VZ, and I'm VZ Mark II, and got something new in the mail today.
Oh snap! What is it?
A new car! I deserve that. I deserve that. Just like complete dead silence.
Say out loud what it is because this is a podcast.
Oh, yeah, Haganai next. The Blu-ray DVD collection.
Very nice.
So if you like,
Mission successful.
I'm killing the anime industry by buying
Like giving it money.
shit, by buying harem shit and moe shit.
you don't own anime. Yeah, we kind of do because we're funding it.
Yeah.
Where's
Not sorry.
You know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen now that Attack on Titan's on TV. The cycle's gonna repeat itself. The Cowboy Bebop goes in the shell. Wait, also Akira. Yeah, I remember the people that got into Akira.
Well, it doesn't help.
I'm just waiting for the Attack on Titan. I'm sort of skeptical about because it's getting the popularity outside of the Cowboy Bebop people. But I'm just waiting for the next time that the cycle repeats itself where everyone's pumped, and then the domestic release drops, and people are pumped for 5 seconds, and then everyone's not pumped.
I really want to know how.
Because I love being right.
It's too expensive.
No, Attack on Titan people will buy, but let's see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm skeptical about Attack on Titan, but
The other one.
Space Dandy. Space Dandy. We'll wait and see on that because I anticipate the cycle will play out in full with Space Dandy.
Now, Space Dandy will sell decently too because that was on TV. I'm talking about stuff like I'm talking about stuff like oh god, what's that show? Flowers of Evil.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
the domestic release of
that's
Flowers of
water.
Evil is going to sell 17 copies.
So that means it sold more here than in Japan.
And they even went with the Blu-ray release for that. Here.
Wow.
So
Really?
and no
What do you
Blu-ray
get
release
out of a Blu-ray release of Flowers of Evil?
and no Blu-ray release for Photocano,
Like
which
having
is
a
something I
Blu-ray
would
of
have bought.
Inferno Cop.
Which I would have bought if Inferno Cop, which is something I would have bought if that was on Blu-ray, because it's only DVD only. You know.
So it's been a little while now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably should explain why, because this is solely falls on my head. Unfortunately, there was an incident. Don't worry, it didn't involve violence or anybody hurt or anything like that. I probably should have said there was a. I guess I've been saying it's a plumbing problem, but technically it comes from the air conditioner.
It's a climate control problem.
Yeah, there you go. Basically, the little area between my study, the open room, and the laundry room was kind of flooded. And basically, you had to walk through gunk and, just get... Now, granted...
Off.
Yeah, exactly. It was nasty.
Yeah.
It was really not a hard fix. It just prevented me from getting in and out of my room, or study, as it were, which is where I do this. And basically, I really had more important things on my mind than, oh crap, I need to record. It's like, oh crap, my floor's getting wet. It didn't actually come in here, but yeah, thankfully. But apparently it just needed some kind of special filters, But, still had to call the guy out here, just to make sure we didn't want,
Yeah,
those
I think
situations where you try to, oh, I can fix it. and then the next day, the entire basement is a swimming pool,
I think I need some filters too, some mental filters.
Why, did you watch Redline again?
Now, why would I punish myself like that?
Well, you hang out on you're always checking out A&N and things like that, so you're clearly a masochist.
No. You keep going. You go to Sankaku Complex. That's number one. What else? You continue going back to what was that? What was that stupid place? Collection DX or Toy Box DX.
Mm-mm.
You keep going back to it, but that's number two. You go to A&M Forum, number three.
Oh, also what's called the Quickie Forums I look at, which is all about Chris Chan and people like
That's
Chris
number
Chan.
4, 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by those type of people.
You're fascinated by those.
Yes, I said I'm fascinated.
Fascinated is a good word.
I am.
Really, but yeah, we were supposed. I was supposed to. Okay, me and VZ were supposed to pop in on the Podcast Zero thing, but that's kind of what got in the way there.
Yeah.
On my end, anyway.
Everyone was worse off as a result.
Well, I wasn't, because I had my computer was being upgraded for the past 2 weeks, so there was that.
The porn isn't going to download itself.
Yeah, and you have a bigger hard drive too, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Somehow, I really wanted to make a stupid ooh, like the audience noise.
like when you're in first grade and some kid gets called to the office.
Yeah, or like on any sitcom where people are in trouble. Your ass is grass, for pulling some stunt, and you hear the studio audience ooh. For those who out there used to be this thing called a sitcom.
There still is, but they're bad now.
Yeah, they're bad now.
So
I mean, you could argue they always were, but they were a special kind of bad.
Yeah.
So Nobis, what have you been doing?
Mostly I've been finishing up basically a semester of college. That's pretty much what I've been working on for the past couple of weeks. But I have been sort of keeping up with Captain Earth, and I think I'm 1 or 2 episodes behind right now. But so far, it's really good.
Yeah, I'm liking that as well.
It really is the second Bones show I've really genuinely enjoyed.
See, it's really hard for me to like Bones Show, even though that they've always, I've always been so let down by so
They're,
many.
like, they're always not bad shows, except for maybe Wolf's Rain. But I'm sorry.
Shots fired.
That show. But like, they never really appeal to me. And I will say that I do think that there are deficiencies with Full Metal Alchemist as well. But all in all, Bone shows, they're good quality. They just don't really. I don't
remember that was a certain someone's favorite show, the aughts.
The aughts.
Yeah.
We're never saying that again.
Mission failed.
Seriously, stop saying that. It just sounds terrible.
This anime came out in the aughts.
Say the 2000s.
Please.
That's what people say.
Fucking the double O's. Say anything else.
Yeah, the double O's.
I really don't care. The fucking Cheerios. I don't care. Speaking.
The two areolas.
Yeah.
That's fine.
The boobies. Yeah. Well, before we came on here, I had what could only be described as some kind of violent sneezing fit, which thankfully is cleared up by now. But it just, it just kept happening. Like, it just broke loose. You know what I mean? Like your sinus cavity drains down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was actually.
It was so bad.
Probably allergy.
I was wondering if I was in some kind of fever dream where, I zoned out and, I don't know, a lawn gnome came to life and was fucking me in the nose or something. Like, what the hell is going on?
So, I guess the listeners are wondering, what have I been doing? Well, as I said, I've had my computer upgraded. But the other thing that's been happening is, thanks to, Gundam Build Fighters, I'm back into Gunpla.
Awesome.
Mission successful. Yeah.
Lots of doings while we've been away.
Yeah. It's only going to be master grade or stuff that's 1/100 scale, and it's going to be you're gonna notice a sort of similar theme when they're all together. You're gonna notice a certain, maybe not all the same series, but a similar look that,
So
over the last couple of weeks, I actually bought the high grade Miss Sazabi, and I've been painting it. It's gonna look so badass when I'm done with it. I swear to God.
Telling you, man, gotta do the master grade plunge now. Gotta plunge it to master grade.
I'm saying I would do that, but the places nearby have no master grades that are pumping me up right now.
Just order Hobbit in Japan.
Yeah, I would, but I don't. I like going to a place and buying a thing and being able to take the thing home instead of buying a thing and then waiting for it to get here.
If you want, but
somehow that does kind of dampen it a little bit.
I understand.
It's I spent the money and I have nothing for 2 weeks.
Well, for me, it's that, or I go into the city, Image Anime, and then I have to pay, New York City markup price,
As opposed to Japan markup prices?
Well,
as opposed
okay.
to buying the stuff and paying for shipping?
Yeah, the shipping, well, that's what I did. Okay, the Zeta, the Master Grade Zeta shipped, and that's what I have now. I'm waiting for the restock of the Mark II and the Delta Plus, and I put them on what's called the private warehouse, where basically I want them to be together. I want them to ship together to come down on the shipping.
Private warehouse, you say?
Yeah, that's basically, they get it in, and they have
They really
it
should come up
waiting
with
for you.
They really should come up with a better name than that. That sounds.
I think that's
the term. No, that's the proper term, a private warehouse.
Oh, I know that.
There's
but
public warehouses and private warehouses.
Oh, I understand that, but it still sounds shady.
Yeah.
We got it out of the back of a Colombian warehouse.
Yeah. So I think with that we should talk about news.
Oh yeah, and we've got a lot of it. Some images came out for Gundam: The Origin.
Yeah, we'll talk about that since we'll go Gundam. And I have to say, Sunrise, what are you doing? What are you doing, Sunrise? Which I mean, I love the idea. But I saw something which is my cardinal sin for mecha anime, and that's 3D CG or cell shaded. Most in the case like on the bottom screenshot showed a Sharzaku.
No, his custom.
Yeah, and it was like cell shaded, and I'm like, no. No, Sunrise is like the one. Okay, they've been doing a little bit in Unicorn, and yes, there was that in the mini trailer. You see that gun tank.
That gun tank.
Yeah, and it was like, but I mean, I still want to see it. I'm still, but I just, I like 2D drawn. I mean, it's all CG today, but I like line art is what I'm saying. That's why I loved Build Fighters. That's why I was.
So what you're saying is you're not a fan of the Bakus. Nobody's a fan of those fucking rip-offs.
Was it? Speaking of which, Gundam Build Fighters is getting more made. I'm really happy. I love that because I love the whole just taking this mobile suit and this and this and this and doing various customs and just putting them there to fight each other. I love that. It's like and stuff that hasn't been never in the anime in any Gundam anime. That's the other great thing. I love that.
That's the great thing about Build Fighters. It's just let's fight Gundams and not even let's not have this whole involved thing. Let's just fight Gundams.
But it's a toy commercial.
We're gonna get into that a little later in the next segment because
foreshadowing.
Most mecha anime is a toy commercial for selling toys or models.
That to go back to the origin thing, I don't really have a problem with it as long as it looks good. I mean, I loved MS Igloo, and that was all CG.
I just really like the the aesthetic of 2D drawn mecha. It's just something that's so especially if you watch especially during I guess in an 80s anime during the height of the mecha boom, 80s and 90s, and you see how hyper well animated, but it's all 2D, at the absolute,
Well, yeah, but to a certain extent, that's the only thing they could do.
Well, I was gonna say it's not like they had alternatives, and that's the thing. Is now the reason they did that is because you really didn't have much of a choice.
Yeah.
But in a way, it's but they're still doing 2D, for other stuff. That thing that Tomino's gonna direct.
Oh yeah,
that's 2D. That's gonna be 2D too, based on
for children.
Yeah, certainly, but like K-God said, they have a choice now. And they can do the 2D thing and be really good with that.
I understand the thing about
really good with that.
The thing about 3D CG is you can do more complex designs, and it's you only design it once and then just move it around. Whereas if it was 2D, it would have to be simpler, and you have to of course redraw it over and over.
I would also say it's a big part of that would be it's probably more cost effective to do it that way.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's you would think all the money that Gundam brings in that they would have the budget to do,
I don't think that's the idea here.
Maybe it's just a choice.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it's just
let's do 3 and like you said, it's Sunrise. They have money. Maybe they want to let's do really good 3D. Let's do really good 3D CG.
I mean, like
Igloo was.
I mean, okay, I'm opening up a new, can of worms, but the Ava movies, where you have the original series, and then you see the same exact scene in in the movie, but done with the 3D CG, cell shaded. Like this, scenes of the Avas running, and you watch it in the original. It's like, why couldn't they just do it exactly like, if it was done before?
Because that would be releasing the same thing.
But yeah, then you'd be making a compilation movie.
Well, no. But there's scenes there. No, but there's scenes. It's hard to explain. There's scenes that they reanimated, but like the Ava, there's like a scene of like the Ava crouching and or like on the little I don't know what it's like, the little gurney hanger thing.
Oh yeah.
And it's like cell shaded. It's not, Whereas why is it cell shaded there? But when you already did it, in 1995, and it was fine like that.
Well, that's kind of the same argument. Maybe they just wanted to do it that way.
That way, yeah. I mean, it's their thing,
I mean, did they need a reason?
I don't know. It's just it's just a really like obvious cost-effective thing that doesn't really aesthetically look good. But that's just me. That's just me.
People say that about anime in general.
Well,
yeah.
True.
That's usually what people who like Western animation bitch about anime. It's cheap. It looks cheap, and it all looks the same.
I mean, well, to a certain extent, we have the same argument going on with within Western animation with a lot of cartoons using Flash now.
Yeah.
Very true.
It's like what? Yeah, like what they're using Flash.
There's still stuff that really looks really good, even though it uses Flash. So it's not what you do; it's how you do it. I mean, if you can come up with something really, if you can use something that's supposed to cut costs and whatnot, but still make it really good, do some really nice, creative, and high quality things with it, what does it matter?
Well, it's it's the thing about with mecha anime that people who knew how to specifically animate mecha anime, which is different from animating people, there aren't there anymore. And the only people who still, it's either the people that have been there since that time or video game people.
I was gonna say now they're all drawing cute girls now. much to the annoyance of some people. But no, all these things, Flash, CG, CG, hand drawn, whatever. It's all tools.
Yeah.
They're tools to achieve an end.
And it's like you can.
You
can still make really awful looking 2D mecha. So it's
certainly. There was tons of it back then.
There's not really. I'm not saying this. It's not really like anyone is inherently better than the other just by virtue of it being that certain type of animation.
No, like I said, these are just.
You get what I'm saying?
Think of different ways of animating something. It's like a toolbox.
Yeah.
I understand what you're getting at, but it's
except for rotoscoping. That sucks.
It's hard to explain for me because it's a really aesthetic thing that I get really obsessed about. And
that's a personal aesthetic thing. That's 100% fine. But what I'm saying is, it's not like it's not bad that they're doing it. It's just if they do it badly, then it's bad. But they're doing it isn't good or bad. It remains to be seen. We can speculate, but it remains to be seen.
Well, I was gonna say, it's not like they're like, okay, we're gonna do this mecha design with the CG stuff just to piss off a guy in America.
Yeah.
I mean, they're certainly not thinking that.
We're gonna animate this show about cute girls doing cute things just to piss off the,
This is to piss off a bunch of people in the U.S. who
and the UK.
Can't forget the UK.
See, this is their post-World War II strategy. They steal all the money from people like us and use it to fund, things to piss off the other people. It's like a circle,
Yeah, I'm down with this strategy if it pisses off people I don't like.
I'm killing the anime.
Yeah. Okay. But okay, let's get back. We got a little carried away there with the CG.
Yeah.
Okay, other announcements. This is the year of magical girls. That's a fact.
Yeah, 2 shows.
Two shows that have long been dormant are now going to be accessible to most people.
I will. Well, all right. You'd say which ones?
Cardcaptor Sakura, which that alone caused complete really right now I don't got money. It's not that I don't want it. It's that can I afford it? I mean, can I really afford it?
Well, that's going to be done by NISA, and
so it's going to end up good. Most things I've gotten from them have always been, and that's the thing. As soon as that was announced, the bitching about the pricing began, which is weird because
you're getting the entire thing on Blu-ray.
On Blu-ray for less than you would have paid for each individual volume.
And aren't the movies on there or something?
That I don't know. Even if they're not, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I think this is more foreshadowing. We should save this for the second segment.
Okay, moving along, and here's the other big one. Bishoujo Senshi Sailor Moon. All 5 seasons. Yes, all 5 seasons. Okay, including Stars, which has never been domestically released here.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Everybody's all pumped about that. It's going to be subbed. It's not going to be edited or censored in any way, at least according to Viz, the press statement. They're using the Blu-ray masters, and if you've seen those, it's amazing they've made the show look as good as it does.
Yeah, because I've seen the pics of the ADV.
And it's like a bad Malaysian bootleg or something. You know how you see those I don't know, Malaysia or Hong Kong or any place like that, where they have all these bootlegs of these they look like camera rips from a theater of a new movie.
I will say for me, for Sailor Moon, it's one of those things I was really into when it first came out here, and of course I saw it before it was on Cartoon Network. I saw it on regular TV.
Right. Wasn't it on USA or something like that? I can't remember. I know I used to watch it.
No, it was on here Channel 11, but it was on regular
that doesn't
TV.
Tell me nothing.
Yeah, regular. What's WPIX?
It's not HBO. It's just regular ass TV.
Yeah. And you got to deal with the wonderful dub.
Also,
original dub. Which is bad, but it does have a charm to it, doesn't it? Kind of looking back, it's got I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I understand. Okay, there's a couple things about it that are just bad, no matter how you look at it. One is the prologue. Just no. That ruins part of the plot, right off the bat. I mean, yeah, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that, really, but
also, I will say, for me, it's I don't have as much nostalgia for it as I thought. Certain things, it's it's weird. Nostalgia is a weird thing where certain things you are nostalgic for, but other things, it's you might have liked that thing, and you're yeah, it was fine for that time, but then you don't really
Yeah, Hey Arnold. It was fine for that time. I don't particularly ever want to see it again, but I still make jokes at its expense, though.
Well, it's me, and it's I'll always be nostalgic for original Transformers and even the '90s Beast Wars, but I'm not. But it's okay, I was huge into Super Sentai in the '90s and Power Rangers, and I still like some of that stuff, but I'm not as hyper into it today as I was. It's just certain thing, and
I'm not nostalgic at all for very specifically Robotech. I was pumped for it back in the day, but I'm not quite anymore.
Or it's you with
that's kind of a more complex issue there, though.
It's you to a certain extent.
It's you and Cowboy Bebop. where it was fine for that time. You enjoyed it when it was out, but you don't have the desire to ever.
I was pumped about it when it was big, but now I'm no longer that pumped about it.
The other thing about Sailor Moon is it's one of those. All right, there's some shows that progressively, like each season, get better and better. Like example for me, Hidemari's Sketch. Sailor Moon is one of those shows where the first season was the best, and it progressively got worse.
Now that's your opinion.
Really? Because I liked I really liked the original thing with Queen Beryl and the four
Four generals.
Yeah, I liked that, and it was the most. But then right when it did that thing with the scientists.
See, that was S though. I like R the most.
Which one? You got really.
R is season 2.
Yeah, is that the one with it had those moon girls, the evil.
Yes, the dark.
Yeah, which is funny because I remember I always thought is that like nipples on that one girl on one. He has these like little circles on her chest, and they're a little bit higher than where but they look like nipples.
As a youngster,
Oh, dude, I remember like just really liking. It was. I know it was like further in the Japanese one, but like for here it was like for the US it was like episode 3 when that one girl was like tied up in the bathtub by that.
Oh yeah,
and you see,
I remember that.
I was just like, yay!
Like it looks like some kind of like slimy ice monster or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember it cuts to the commercial when they pull like the curtain or whatever.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I think that's what it did.
I just remember
I've seen like one episode of Sailor Moon in the past 5 years, so I have no idea what either of you gentlemen are talking about at this point.
What was it? The dub?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so and it was probably not even the original. It was probably the second.
I don't even know.
That did it. But you should probably at least give it a look of the original.
I used to have the dolls, by the way.
I had that ADV box set. That's how I know it was so bad.
I don't have those anymore, but I do have one that got like released a little bit later. I still have Sailor Moon. They're like dolls. Yeah, see, precursor to my crazy Figma collection over there. But they're kind of like they were almost like dolls, but they were kind of like almost like action figure-ish also. So that's why I guess I gravitated toward. They had rooted hair, but they also had like articulated they're like they could sit down and their arms were able to move around. So it was,
right. So okay, yeah, like an action figure.
Yeah. So that's why.
You pull the string and they pull out their wand and say something.
Their wand and their like the thing on their head was like chrome, was like gold chrome too.
So like that garbage can. That's an inside joke. No one's gonna get that.
Any other news?
Get money, get paid.
Any other news?
Well, there was those. We got some guy got arrested.
Oh yeah, the
voice actor.
Voice actor. Yep.
I can't remember his name, so I'm just gonna call him Steve.
Me neither. So me neither, which shows how memorable he is. There was that Immortal Paradise thing.
Oh yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
Basically, the
first title to be restricted under the new
Tokyo Youth Ordinance.
Yes.
What is it? Bill 156, I think.
Something like that. I don't know offhand.
So it's basically you can't be under 18 and have it.
Which
pretty much.
On one hand, you would think, as I did, well, yeah. I mean,
right, and like that's sort of common sense, but to a certain extent, it goes deeper than that.
Right. I understand. We actually had this conversation off of here, and we were talking about it's in a way it's trying to create kind of a self-regulating kind of.
It's basically a self-banning. It does.
It's not going to work.
No.
Well, here's
so it's like back when GTA San Andreas, people were up in arms about that, and they were trying to get it changed to an AO rating instead of an M rating.
Yeah.
Which, when you look at it, they're basically the same thing, where M is 17 and up, AO is 18 and up, which is just 1 year difference. But the
difference is the distribution channel.
implication is distribution channels, exactly. Walmart's not likely going to carry an AO title.
Oh, definitely.
Target's not likely going to carry an AO title. GameStop, maybe. So it creates it creates a canyon in which this thing can't be distributed through a lot of really popular channels. So that's the implication here.
If you want to see an example, basically, that kind of flaunts with some of this idea, remember NC-17?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Didn't work very well.
Nope.
It's like, okay, we need something between an R movie and porn. You know, and that's basically what they tried to do. As a matter of fact, Rotsukidoji, if you had the VHS title, it had NC-17 on it.
Oh, the original RoboCop was going to be originally an X rating, not because of pornographic, but because of like the violence.
Right. Which we don't associate X ratings with violence.
Exactly.
We associate it with pelvic thrusting and bad music. Exactly. But yeah,
or the Casio.
It really does depend on if Japan works, their distribution channels work the same way ours do.
Also,
this is all speculation.
Right.
But it's speculation coming from perspective.
Also, the other speculation that you got to realize is the whole 2020 Olympics.
I honestly do think that does factor in here.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
There's shit on there. We gotta sweep this.
Because they said, because they even said during the time during those Olympics, when the guests and all that are there, they're going to clean up basically their 7-Eleven equivalent, situations.
Hey, in Japan, you could get U15 videos and U12 videos and even U5 videos. Why don't you start working on that? Why don't you start working on those things?
Yeah. No comment.
Why don't you start working on that? Japan.
I just think that everyone should respect other people's cultures, but I know that's a pipe dream.
Well, not only that, but like you said, this is all speculation. The way their distribution channels work, we're just basing it off the way R does.
Yeah, but it's a lot.
It's a sound.
It's got a lot more perspective to it than they banned it, because they didn't ban it.
No, you can still get it.
Trying to kill its distribution.
Right, and if you know anything about smut or adult products, it's not going to work. No, because people want their stuff. Yeah. This is one of those you've let the cat out of you've let the genie out of the bottle a long time ago. Mm-hmm. You can't stuff him back in. And if you try,
the ship has sailed.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's not like Aladdin, where Jafar gets put into the fucking lamp,
Yeah.
That shit ain't gonna happen. Did I really just reference a Disney movie?
Yes, you did.
That might be older than people listening to this.
Ooh, I get to use this drop-in that I made a while ago. Give me a second.
I Am Terrible?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
So, okay, guys, you said you had an announcement?
Oh, yeah. Basically, I'm probably not going to end up doing the anime site. Okay, a couple things have popped up. One, finances, which the time I was going to do it, they were all right. Now they need to be tightened a bit. And, but even if I do it, it won't be for a while. Because there's no way I can basically fund it right now.
Right.
I mean, and still be able to do other things.
Yeah, I got you.
I understand.
I also have an announcement. So, I'm going to put like a trillion caveats on this. because I don't want to disappoint anyone if this ends up not being done by me. I've been reading some stuff, looking up all this information. Started to do a little bit of market research, and pretty much what I want to do is open an anime goods store.
Awesome.
So
VZ gets his personal thumbs up.
Starting up franchises.
Basically.
I would love to open up an anime store too.
So yeah, that's why I don't want people to be disappointed if this ends up being not something I do.
Get your NTR Radio shirt.
Right? Yeah, hell, sure, we'll do it. But
Custom shirts.
Get your VZ Mark II bobbleheads.
yeah, contributing to that advanced capitalism.
Yeah, I mean,
Holding a little Mayoi figure in his hand.
Yeah. I could just see there being like cardboard cutouts of you with your airsoft guns, like in the stores.
Say all shot up.
Like in the 18 up section, it's just like basically you trapping them in there. like you should feel bad. Type of thing.
But yeah, I've been bouncing around the idea of opening an anime goods store.
Some troll's just gonna like send you. Here's a crate full of Ayase figures.
Hey, if I don't have to pay for them, target practice.
Look! I mean, look at his.
I could use some small point targets to shoot at.
Man, look at his subtitle there. There you go.
Ayase assassin.
Strap some fireworks onto it.
That reminds me, I forgot to put my pistol back up there.
Try out some new techniques in rocketry. I'm gonna be the next Von Braun.
The best part of the video that you did is her smiling.
Yeah.
Do you mean the first one or the second?
The first or the second one?
Both, because it's the same picture.
It's the same picture. You can see the bullet holes from the first one and the second one.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was a different printout of the same picture.
No, I just kept that, and I'm using that for anytime I need to do a video where I'm testing out something with airsoft. I'm probably just going to use that picture.
Yeah, because the second video, it's all about the one-handed fence hop.
Yeah, it's all about that fence hop. Which, if you don't know what we're talking about, go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/TEAnubis, and watch that third-person GoPro rig test. It's amazing, if I do say so myself.
It is pretty impressive. It looks like he's in one of your third-person shooters. First person, not third person.
No, it is third person.
It is third person. But the way it moves reminds you of when you're playing like.
Yeah, it looks like I'm part of Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter or something.
Or for those who are older, Wolfenstein.
In any case, that's the break. Keep it right here on NTR Radio. Yeah, it was like a 40-minute long segment.
It was a good one, though, I think.
Yeah.
I will be right back.
Roger.
This is the time you do it.
Alright. Music.
Where did you take that from? I don't even remember.
That was from the, I believe that was from the Project H episode.
Oh, yes.
Turn that down. There we go.
Come on in. Relax to the smooth sounds of Charles Mingus. Not exactly. Now I remember what video that your video reminds me of. It reminds me of playing like GoldenEye or something like that. Keep in mind, I don't play a lot of these type of games, so
Yeah.
My points of reference are probably going to be old.
Dated.
It's not that I haven't seen these other games, but I didn't play them.
Yeah.
So there's there's a big difference. And yes, there is a difference. Perfect music to do differentials.
I hope I never have to do differentials again. So done with math. So done. It's like I'm good at it, but
You've
Just
already explained what your beef is, and it's not. It's non-applicable stuff. Like where you're just doing it to do it. You know.
yeah, well, I'm
who's
just
on
doing
that-
math to get good at math. It's just awful.
Who's on that Dakimakura in the back?
This one,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
Rio Nanase from Imoto Paradise.
From the one that got banned.
From the one, well, technically no.
Well,
Imoto Paradise 2 got banned.
Yeah.
Yeah, but which by the way, 2 is not as good as the first one.
Yeah, at least not
What's
the
it-
anime.
For those who are still tuned in, you won't be hearing this shit on the actual.
Was it Moto Paradise the one with those two lolis with those, or was that a Moto Jiru?
It might be either one. Can you be a bit more descriptive?
The one with that director that does that like that crazy camera.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
Murakami.
Imoto Paradise.
It's Murakami,
Ah!
who is
That's
awesome.
Teraki Murakami.
Love his stuff.
But what was it that got banned? The manga or the
The
anime?
manga.
For
The manga.
2. So just specifically the manga.
Specifically the manga. Not the eroge and not the era anime. Because those are both adult works.
Not only that, but if that's your jam, I mean that kind of thing is your jam, style. Well, I posted a review of it. I mean that you did actually.
Yeah.
My sentiments exactly. Plus an extra a third thumb up, an extra limb, whatever you want to think of it. Definitely up again if you like other Murakami stuff.
Oh yeah.
Bullshit! I bet you could suck a golf.
Golf
Oh,
golf
through
hard
hard
nose.
nose.
I actually heard one that actually might beat that in terms of entertainment value of describing suction, as it were. I was just flipping through the channels, and I have no idea what movie this is. Maybe one of the loyal listeners will know. I was just channel surfing, which when you're watching TV, you kind of have to, really, because there's nothing else really usually. There's nothing usually on where it's like, oh, I gotta see that. At least
Yeah, so
not
stop
now.
watching TV.
Right. But anyway, I was flipping through the channels, and this one woman was talking about, I guess, like, I came in completely blind, so I'm just going to have to guess. Seemed like it was like a marriage going down the toilet type of thing. And she's like, I don't know what's wrong, I'm in good shape, this and that, and I can suck nails out of a board. I'm just like, wow.
All right. Everyone ready?
Yes.
Yep.
In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to NTR Radio. So, this episode is gonna... Basically, we're talking about dumb things said in the anime community.
Fandom.
There is no shortage of this stuff.
No shortage. And I have our first one.
All right, then. Well, you want to do this kind of like round robin style?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like, round table. It's like, okay, we'll go and...
Yeah.
All right. And one thing I want to do is specify why these things are dumb. Because we know they're dumb, but why is a much bigger explanation. So here's the first one. Remember when a whole bunch of dumb people were surprised about the ending to Ori Emo?
Yeah. And that's the funny thing, because some of these same people were bitching, why don't they just fuck already and get it over with?
It's like, the show's name is Ori no Imoto.
Careful what you wish for. I mean, really.
Well, I told you I call it pulling an Ori Emo, which is the initial premise would turn off people like you know what I'm talking about, just because it's Emoto and set, but then people watch it and think, oh, it's just two brother and sister trying to get along, but then the ending is that actual premise,
But
short of actual incest.
It didn't
That's what I'm gonna call
pull anything. Like it was obvious Homeboy was gonna end up with his sister.
I mean, if Dojins are anything
From the
to go
very
by.
beginning. It's like when you watch a harem anime and you know that two characters are gonna end up together at the end.
Or usually not. It's usually none of them end up, and it's just
Well,
because
yeah,
they
but
leave it open,
If two characters end up together, you know which two are gonna end up together.
Oh yeah, almost always.
We know Raku's gonna and Chitoge is gonna eventually is warming up to Raku in Nisekoi.
Well,
Yeah,
not okay. I'll give you an example. One that's not airing right now, and that's kind of pretty popular. Shuffle was a good one.
Yeah.
The ending did not surprise me at all. Not at all. I'm not going to spoil it for those who haven't seen it, because somebody out there might want to still see it.
I've never seen it, but you could say if you want. I mean, the only thing I know about the Shuffle is that there's a girl who doesn't know how to cook eggs.
Oh yeah, Narane. Who is also generally portrayed as the smart one, by the way. Otherwise, just lacking in what would be considered domestic skills, which I know
because it's so bad. Yeah, because it's so bad. It's so bad that these girls they're being forced to. They want to be. That she can't even cook.
They're being forced to cook. That is an interesting concept to me. Like they're chained to the stove. But no. Shuffle. Okay, you got. Let's see. How many girls were there? 5 or 6. Let me think here.
It's,
Well,
5 or 6.
Right, you're right. I'm having a total lapse of being able to count here. But and they fit a lot of your basic I hate this word. I fucking hate this word. Tropes.
Yeah, you got the standard menu.
Tropes is not a bad word.
It's not a bad word. It's only
become one.
It's only you. No, it hasn't. People use it like it's a bad word, but those people are dumb. You've got the standard menu of harem anime archetypes there.
You really do, because you've got the childhood friend, which is Asa.
Yep.
Okay, you've got the token loli, which is Primula. Okay, and you've got the incredibly rambunctious yet still lovable character who is Sia.
Yep.
Okay.
Weren't they succubi? Weren't they?
No.
They were like
represent heaven
angels and
hell.
demons. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Or at least Japan's take on it, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, and we also got Narane, who is who's shy, quiet, but shy and quiet, but also really smart, and things like that. And then you have the and this is probably the weirdest thing, and it's to totally forgetting her name.
Kaede.
Kaede, because she's got the orange kind of auburn hair.
Mm.
And she, I mean, the thing is she's real submissive, subservient.
Yamato Nadeshiko.
There's a reason for it, though. I'm not saying it's right or wrong or any of that. I'm just saying they do give a reason for this.
Yeah.
That is not the typical, just it's not really a doormat type thing like you think it is.
Right.
It actually does have a point.
Actually,
Whether you like the point or not is up to you, but
it does have a point.
It does.
To a certain extent, you can't even call her Yamato Nadeshiko anymore. She is yandere. Because Yamato Nadeshiko is part of yandere. Just people have forgotten that, and that's how we ended up with Ayase being labeled as yandere. Even though she's not. She's just a bitch.
There you go. But okay, and of course there's the little minor characters like Asa's friend,
Asa's friend?
You know which one I'm talking about?
She doesn't even get her name. No, I don't know which one you're talking about.
I think she's a demon because she has like the pointy
I watched that show like 5 years ago. I don't remember a single thing about it.
I can't think of her name. She had the pointy ears and she had the the long kind of blonde hair, and she was real dense and kind of ridiculous. She's always like
who you're talking about at all.
Oh, okay. It's one of those characters that people would like to ship, I mean that realistically, there's no way, And she's always making like gay jokes between him and his nerdy friend, the one with glasses. Itsuki, I think is his name.
Yeah, I don't remember any of the characters apart from
the main ones.
Game Boy and all the girls.
Reen and everybody else. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, the point is that that's a good example of a more not recent but moderately recent harem type show. Ladies versus Butlers. There's another one. It happens to be very perverted.
You can go back to Love Hina.
I got one. I got one.
You can tell you can't watch Love Hina and sit there and tell me that you don't know who Homeboy's gonna end up with.
Yeah. Well, I got a wonder. No, I'm just saying who's gonna main character gonna end up with in Haganai?
It's not gonna be Rika, the best girl. I can tell you that right now.
It's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna.
Any other choice, but maybe Senna would be absolutely brainless.
What if
I was just gonna say I don't think
it's probably gonna end up with Yozora because people like to piss me off.
What if they reveal that Senna is actually related to the main character and
then he definitely will end up with her.
I still stick with that. You can tell who he's gonna end up with, and
usually,
from what I say, he's gonna end up with Yozora, because look at all the stuff Yozora does, and she hasn't been pushed away yet. And plus, they have that whole childhood thing between the two of them. You know they're gonna end up together, even though I'm gonna be pissed off about it.
But you're not gonna be breaking figures or throwing your show in the trash, or
No. Well, okay. To be fair, if someone sends me a Yozora figure to shoot, I'll shoot it. But I'm saying.
No, I'm saying you're not gonna be like burning your DVDs in effigy.
Yeah, no.
No.
No, Rika still exists. Like, they didn't take Rika out of the show. I can still watch that.
Okay, I got a fandom story. All right, it's all right. We all know about this. Anytime a series is released here, they announce a series. It's usually by Sentai or NISA.
Or Funimation, of course.
No. Specifically these two, and you'll know why.
Oh, okay.
And they say, that it's only going to be sub only. And then,
yeah.
And then they go, I was going to buy the show, but no, it's only sub only.
No, you weren't.
And, well, that, but then these are usually the same people that complain that when they do the dub, that the dub sucks, or the dub always has the same actors.
You can't please all the people all the time, and with these people, you
Well,
can't please them
people complain
anytime.
about dubs having the same actors.
Yeah, well,
Like,
that
There's
the
a
same-
limited pool of actors. People.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
And it's just like that old saying, you can't please all the people all the time. But this is almost the reverse of that. You can't please anybody anytime. like with this stuff. And it's true. I know exactly what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, why is it the big deal about the show being sub only? Is it really you watched it? You obviously watched it originally in Japanese.
Maybe.
I mean, with subtitles. Why is that such a big deal? Why is that? Does it really need a dub? Every single show.
I can
I don't
understand
think so.
why the dub. I can understand why the dub. I can totally understand that. But it's not like I'm not gonna buy the show.
Why? Yeah. Well, no, but that's how some. I mean, why? Yeah, but the thing is, some shows. Would you really want them to dub Golden Mosaic? A show where the part of some of the humor is Japanese people speaking English.
Right, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, you've also got I was going to mention something about since you mentioned the sub thing about there's kind of an entitlement thing going on there too. I mean,
well, yeah,
we need a dub, or we deserve a dub, type of thing, and so you're lucky you get anything.
Well, that's another. Well, we all know what the other entitlement thing is. Oh, they should be making shows for us because there's more of us than in Japan. Even though these people...
the best thing about that is that not only did somebody actually say that, and we saw this, but here we are, like a couple years later, and that parody place, Play for Real, actually made fun of that exact idea.
Yeah.
But
I remember
video
that.
games instead of anime, and just to show how stupid it was, it's like them and their foreign weird characters nobody can read, just like really. Okay, yeah, sub only. The other thing, one of the other things is I think that's just an excuse to get out of pretending, pretending they were gonna buy it.
No, of course, but
I was gonna buy it, but this is my get out of purchase free card.
The other one
People just look for any excuse.
The other one is, which I can actually kind of understand, is the show is only going to be released only on DVD only here.
Okay, it depends on how old the show is usually.
Well, there's some shows like Sentai, stuff like Furokano and Bunso Shinki are only being DVD released. But it was originally Yu Yu Shiki was going to be DVD release only, but they now put a Blu-ray release with it. So that was maybe because I emailed them saying about.
Okay.
Well, here's my thing. Just like dubs, it would be nice, but it's not gonna make me not buy it.
Right.
Like if they didn't come out with, I don't know, give me a show I'm really pumped about.
Strike Witch is the movie?
Sure. If they didn't come out with Strike Witch is the movie on Blu-ray, I'd still buy it on DVD.
Well, Funimation, they never even announced anything for that.
We're not. That's not the point. It's theoretical.
Hypothetical. If they didn't decide,
not theoretical.
They're just gonna do a DVD release, I'm still gonna buy it. Here's my thing. Having Strike Witch is the movie is more important to me than having Strike Witch is the movie with a dub, or having Strike Witch is the movie on Blu-ray. Having it, period, is I'll be fine with that more than I don't need the dub or the Blu-ray.
Well, some people would say, wouldn't you want it in the highest quality?
Oh, certainly.
But over not having it at all?
But over not having it at all, I'll take what I can get.
Thank you. I mean, let's not be... Okay.
Let's be real.
I think, all right, one more thing for now, and then I'll see if K-God says any
Oh yeah, I do.
anecdotes. Which, all right, well, maybe you're thinking this. The price of anime.
Oh,
We've already went over this though before.
yeah, we sort of have. How bad do you want it?
Yeah, really. You know,
That's what it comes
like I
down
said,
to.
I'm prepared to take to take money that I really don't have to buy like that Sailor Moon set.
The thing about, like, all right, well, here's the thing about, like, because we've all heard about the Aniplex thing.
Yeah, I'm real sick of that.
It has occurred to me that this is what Aniplex is for. Most of Aniplex releases, the only ones that are seem to be normal priced is the stuff that's like going to be DVD only, which is stuff like Vivid Red, Servant Service. You get the idea. But for the majority, the stuff that's like on, like the Monica movies, that is basically for people who they're very small, but there is people who buy Japanese releases, and that's just what that is. That's that option to have it with an English subtitle.
Well, there's that, or we can go with my theory, which says that they're basically completely beholden to their parent company, and they're calling all the shots.
Well,
which I think is more likely.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying that is what the market. Well, no, but I'm talking about what the market for those Aniplex releases. The Aniplex releases aren't for the casual buyer of anime. They are for a specific, usually the person that buys premium, and the person who's already fine with paying Japanese pricing. That's what that.
I don't know. I'm sort of iffy on breaking up the markets like that, because I just feel like if you're gonna be an anime fan, if you're gonna be a person who values anime because it's anime, who values anime because it's Japanese animation, it comes from this different culture and whatnot, I feel like you can't just treat it like the sort of consumable, disposable entertainment.
I understand that. Except here we actually do that. And how can I
prove
that?
Well, we should stop.
How can I prove that? Oh, Funimation's save release, which I don't have we don't have a problem with cheap re-releases of anime. That's not. It's the whole
It's the mentality.
It's the mentality that anime can be cheap like every other thing, and it's like you'll buy it now, right? Because look how cheap it is. You're saving value.
Here's the thing. Yeah, that's what we do. We should stop. We should understand that this stuff is special.
Well, I understand.
It's not this kind of stuff that you can just consume and dispose of. It's something that needs to be special. Yeah, no, and I understand that you understand it, but
in Japan,
it needs to stop.
Japan doesn't have the Walmart mentality, and the Walmart Western mentality is cheap goods at cheap prices, whereas Japan likes premium pricing on premium products.
I think
even if it's a smaller.
Casting too broad a net, though. It's specifically with the anime community. We still have this mentality that anime needs to be the same price as what other ever
as Archer.
Yeah, it's like Archer or something else.
I understand.
And not disparaging that kind of entertainment.
No, I like Archer. Actually.
No, same here. But it's like
I know what you're saying, but just saying that's how some of the companies treat it, and that's how the fans are treating it.
And they need to stop.
I can tell you why. I mean, I can tell you at least one reason why. And part of it is just a difference in, first off, over in Japan, because obviously it's close to the source, haha, they know how much this stuff costs to maintain and put out.
Yep.
And how ridiculous the man hours, and all the other stuff is. So they charge more. I mean, they charge more anyway because it's Japan. Just ask anybody there.
Well, in Japan, they know that a certain amount of people are gonna.
Well, no, not even that. Ignoring that for a minute,
Right.
they also understand that, or at least I think they do. That a lot of blood, sweat, and possibly other fluids are put into making this stuff.
And sometimes people actually die animating the shows that you made.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be funny, but it was.
Like
I mean, it wasn't funny that he died. It's funny that you brought that up.
Yeah.
I don't want to seem even more like a monster than I already am, but no, okay, they know people are gonna buy it. They know there's a certain core of people that will, just like Aniplex does, by the way.
Yeah.
And we also got, well, first off, the cost of living in general is higher in Japan. It just is.
Yeah, it's a completely different. Even though Japan is a westernized
culture and economy.
Even though Japan is a westernized culture, like with cities, there's a whole different standard of living to what they're willing to buy, for their media versus here.
I'd hesitate to call them a westernized culture just because they have cities. They're modernized, but I don't know about western.
All right, modernized is more. But I'm just saying. Well, there are a lot of westernized things in Japan too, but the point is that but as far as
you mean they pick and choose what they're gonna pay for?
Here again, it's the Walmart mentality.
But you gotta realize that mentality has been there for over 30 years. So it's at least for our country.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. It's built.
You're not gonna be able to.
It's built into our.
Right. You're not gonna be able to pull it out. There's no way.
Well, then that's no. I can't accept that because how am I able to I accept that it exists, but how then am I able to, having lived in the United States my entire life, able to have a perspective on this, and other anime fans can't?
I don't know. I guess because I don't know. I think anime fans have a lot in common with just general collector mentalities, in the sense that we understand the value of things outside.
But then some of them don't. And what's wrong with those people?
Because they lack the ability to see the bigger picture.
It's that silver platter thing. It really is. It's just like
entitlement.
Give me my cheap stuff. Give it to me. Don't make me work for it. Don't make me pay a lot for it. Give it to me through least means of resistance.
Now this is the negative part of why it's bad. Like, I understand the demand for cheap, but here's it. When you demand cheap prices, it's gonna sometimes cut into the product itself. Like Sentai, for some of their Blu-ray releases, I really hope they don't do this for the stuff I pre-ordered, like Love Lab and Golden Mosaic. But all right, that show Mayo, the one with they're releasing for their Blu-ray release. It's the whole thing going to be on a single Blu-ray instead of two Blu-rays. And I know Blu-ray has a lot of storage space, but still, like, putting an entire series on one Blu-ray to save cost.
I don't have as much of a problem with that if it still works like it's supposed to.
Yeah, if that's what. But I'm just saying it's people demanding cheapness. Their product be cheaper. It's gonna. It does come back to bite them. They're gonna get a cheaper product.
But you're talking about people that don't care. You're talking about people that ultimately would rather sit there watching something streaming on the crappy low res streaming site than they would actually owning it.
But I understand that, which is why for it's almost like punishing the people that would buy that and are willing to pay the 35 to 40 to whatever for, if they don't care, if they're willing to pay a little bit more to have a better product. That's why NISA has been doing really well. Their product has, you're getting, the shows. They're generally only doing Blu-ray releases because they know that that's what sells mostly, Blu-ray over DVD, and it's it's the show usually on 2 discs, and it has, sometimes it has on-disc extras, but you give them a nice book, a nice hardcover book in a nice packaging. I love those releases.
That's what I'm saying. That goes back into that kind of collector mentality.
Yep, it's the collector mentality. So, like,
They know, and those NISA collections are a bit more than like a Funimation or a Sentai, but you're getting what you're paying for, and that's
so like is the future that we have Aniplex and NISA doing these higher and higher quality releases, and then we have Sentai and Funimation ostensibly doing lower and lower quality releases.
That's pretty much what I'm saying. Which I know that the reason like they canceled the Blu-ray release for Chunibyo, and they plan on doing something that sounds similar to what NISA does, which is basically they're gonna pack in a book. They're gonna have the Blu-ray and DVD together.
Make no mistake, this is the future model it's gonna go to.
Yeah, it's either gonna be premium or super cheap or cheap. That's the model.
I have a feeling that
that's already.
The further we go on, the more you're going to see it shift toward the premium.
Yeah, I have a feeling that that's going to be the way, because, it's coming back to that collector mentality. How bad do you want it? And the people who want it badly enough are going to pay. Well, they're going to pay for it regardless.
But the thing is, how far can that market sustain with the number of the crazy amount of shows that come out? Can it sustain all that on premium? I don't think so.
Then we go back to back in the day where we just don't get every single show that's licensed.
Exactly.
This is going to get a lot worse than before it gets better.
Well, true, but I feel like not every single show has to be in the premium release. Like, I'm fine with, like, as long as I'm hoping that it's 2 disc each, for the ones. I'm fine with just the Sentai as long as it's Blu-ray. For it doesn't need to be anything extra. Well,
the thing is ironically, sort of, I guess it's sort of irony, but you're noticing it's almost like being back in the day when you bought it on VHS tapes, because they were really expensive. The prices, way up, and the sub ones are even more expensive for those who don't know.
Although, thankfully, it's not 2 episodes per tape.
Oh yeah, that really did reflect the Japanese kind of market there. You got, But
I don't think people complained back then. That's the thing.
Actually, no, they didn't.
That's the only way you could get it.
It really was. That's why I find this so funny.
Because now we have the inexpensive DVD releases, which were even more expensive, give it 5, 6, 7 years ago. We have.
Oh man, yeah, I used to buy. I was the one buying Lucky Star on DVD individually.
Oh yeah.
Now I will say this: that is a market that's dead.
Yes, that's the dead market.
That is a very ineffective.
The only one that does individual releases is Aniplex, and for stuff like the last one, like Monaco, was split up into 3. Sword Art Online is split up into like 4. Which I
would say that's more opportunism than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, but realistically, you're not gonna see much of that anymore.
No, none of the other. It's always 12 to 13 sets. It's like if a show is being released for the first time and it's like a 26 episode, 24 episode, it's like
they're just gonna wait till it's all done.
No, actually they do. Well, people wait, but I'm saying in Funimation releases. All right, I hate talking about the show, but like Index and Railgun is like each season's like 26 episodes. So you have like part 1, which is one set of 13, and then part 2, which is the other set of.
It's still respectable though.
Yeah, it's still better than. I'm gonna get the Code Geass DVD with 4 episodes on it.
Right.
Well, that's kind of what
That's what did Bandai in.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons why Bandai was kind of like having the problem, because Bandai was actually like one of the last ones keeping on that
was doing that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, for those out there, we're not talking about like OVAs and movies and stuff. That's different.
No, that's a different thing. But
that's a whole different
back
idea.
To what I was saying. We have the inexpensive DVD releases, which were even less expensive in the past. We have streaming. We have the internet. So now there's a whole bunch of entitled people who want anime at these ridiculously low prices, which were give it 6-7 years ago, those were the norm, yes, but since it's gotten more expensive.
I will say, all right, here's another I had it on the tip of my tongue. I was going to say another anecdote that I was thinking.
Anecdote? I think you said anecdote. Were you poisoned, VZ? Yeah, that.
Hello.
No, don't even do that. No, stop that. That gives me bad memories of.
I will say this, like for me, like okay, I did buy movie 1 and 2 on DVD, but now now that I've been doing Blu-ray, I will wait for like when all the Ava movies when they're all done, and they're gonna release like them all in one set.
Oh, of course.
Right. Well, okay. To go back to recent events, like Cardcaptor Sakura and Sailor Moon, they're gonna release these. I'm assuming, especially with Sailor Moon, in seasonal sets, I would guess.
Well, I know that they're doing seasonal sets and a collected one for Sakura.
Right. And okay. And I'm interested in these, and the fact that they're coming out relatively close within each other is really bad on my wallet. But again, how bad do I want it?
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty bad.
Okay, we need to move on.
Yeah, we really do. I was even going to talk about.
So you have any fandom stories, K-Gods?
Stories? A lot of them, but something specifically to bitch at. Let's see here. Okay, here's a good one, and we've covered this before, but it's still irritating. Whenever you're the lack of technical reviews.
Oh, yeah.
What I mean by that is just that, the lack of technical reviews. They're bad opinion pieces most of the time.
Pretty much.
They don't tell you about
their political soapbox reviews.
That too. That's a whole other thing right there. But like, okay, does the show, okay, does the product, the DVD, the set, whatever, does it have good packaging? Does it have bad sound quality? Does it have artifacts or rainbows?
Well, the only people who would be really knowledgeable about that is
people that should probably be talking about it.
Well, like Chris Beveridge, like those
right.
guys.
Right. Where are more people like him?
Why aren't the rest of them that knowledgeable about that, though? We understand people like Chris Beveridge are knowledgeable about it. Why aren't the rest of them?
Well, my thing is, like, the review of the show a lot of times isn't even about the show.
It's not. It's a whine fest about gun control or some stupid shit that nobody. It's like okay, you're using a show like, I don't know, Upate to talk about something recent that happened over here in the news.
Oh, no, it was not.
That was C3 Boo. That was
C3.
not Opate.
It doesn't matter because it's the same
it doesn't matter.
It's
the same. It's the same. It's the same idea.
Any show like that. C3. Yeah, exactly. I almost said C3PO. Fucking new Star Wars, man. I don't know.
Like when I read an anime review, I'm looking to get
Specs.
how's the animation? What's the story? How's the story told? How are the characters portrayed? Does the show do any neat tricks with its presentation? Like I reviewed one a few days ago. I think it was like a week ago. Denpa Teki Nakanojo, which
I
does
actually
this
never
really.
heard before you reviewed that.
And I found it on from some page on Facebook and decided to watch it, and it's really good. And it does this really neat thing where it will superimpose a character's face on top of the scene, so you can see how the character reacts and what the character's saying without it having to cut back and forth. And I really like that about it. And it's at the point where I can't expect and your average review to really mention that, because a lot of them are just opinion pieces based on whatever the author is mad about at that point in time.
And that's just it. It becomes more about the person writing it than about what they're writing, what they're actually supposed to be talking about.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just like some kind of like writer's hubris or something.
It's not
to a certain extent, I understand that, because I have a certain style when I'm writing, and
right. Well, everybody does.
There's stuff like, and you'll know like stuff about me from what I write about and from what I say about these shows. But the fact is, when I'm reviewing a show, the show is the focus. It's not on me, and that's the problem. A lot of these are focused on being a cult of personality, because you click on the review and you read who's reviewing it, and then you've
already got an opinion on the review.
That person, exactly.
Which is weird, because you haven't read anything.
Exactly.
It's kind of the same reason I don't like a lot of metric style reviews. I mean, like numerical metric, you know.
Exactly, because you
see the number and you don't read it.
And either you don't read it, or you read it with
and you
that
try to justify
in
the
mind.
number.
Exactly.
Rather than actually paying attention to what they're saying.
Yes.
But what about
that's how
when
they're written, though, too. And that's why I don't take them very seriously.
What about when they judge it just based on what genre it is, rather than...
Well, then they really don't have any reason to review it.
They don't need to write reviews.
You know,
they really don't, because...
Complaining about just because it's a harem.
Exactly, okay. Like, imagine... Okay, this is going to be a stretch, but... Okay, imagine you're thrown you're just a general movie reviewer, okay? And like, they just throw whatever they have in front of you, and your job is to review it. Okay.
Which is a lot of those people on.
Yeah, but if they throw, like, I don't know, some cheap B level horror movie or something, you know, and it's like, you know, this is, you know, garbage. They don't even like horror movies. You really think they're going to be fair about that?
No. And to a certain extent,
be able to give you a review that's, like, you know, devoid of any kind of you know, confirmation bias.
Right. It's like, to a certain extent, we've gotten mixed up with the job of a reviewer. Their job isn't to give an opinion about a piece of media. Their job is to give that piece of media a fair shake and a fair assessment.
What's weird is and I actually do still have some of these, if I actually go back and look at some of my old video game magazines, and I'm not even going to say how old these are. I don't even know. Put it this way, they're reviews of games like Shining Force 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's very old.
Yeah. It does use a percentage metric, which, in all honesty, I think I like that more. Even though it doesn't really completely make sense, but I somewhat understand what they were doing. But the point is, they actually rated it. They did what a lot of people do, or at least claim to do, is, you know, have it sliced up into little sections like sound, you know, and crap like that. But one of the things that I noticed when I was looking at these is how much they actually stay on point.
Yeah.
They actually are talking about the mechanics and the gameplay and the visuals they're not talking about if they like swords or, and if they do, it's maybe one passage or something like that.
Yeah, but it's focused on the work of media.
It doesn't become. I don't know if that's because it's a publication, and before like
maybe
the internet age, as it were.
The internet's how do I say this without being mean? The internet's made it a lot easier to get your
opinion out there.
To get your to get your opinion or whatever it is you do out there, regardless of quality.
Right. There's not a lot of
There isn't a filter.
There isn't a natural filter.
There isn't an editor that's gonna look at your thing, throw it in your face, and say, write it again and do it better, or your replacement will.
Right, because now you don't have that higher authority that looms over you like that.
Nope.
At least, I'm not saying that's necessarily bad. I'm just saying I think that's part of the natural filtering process from back then.
How it is we get a whole lot more media, but we also, that by virtue of that, we get a whole lot more bad media.
It's just a free for all, really.
Yeah. There's a whole lot, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch more phenomenal reviewers out there who are able to do this because of the internet, and weren't able to do it back in the day when it was just magazines. But that also means we have a whole lot of crap reviewers out there who are faking the funk.
That's an interesting way to put it. But
faking the funk, I like that.
And
pretenders to the throne.
You little usurpers. But really though, we're not crapping on the internet too much. I mean, it's because the internet that we're here right now.
We're on the internet.
I mean, 3 guys on the internet. Oh no. Okay. Right. But yeah, I mean, I'll give you another example. It's a different media and different distribution and all that, but it still kind of used to have something like this. Music. Okay. Now it's a lot easier to publish it because a lot of people have home studios and you can make stuff sound great cheaply.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, that means everybody can do it.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of crap is out there. And everything under the sun seems to get signed because there's no natural filtering. Excuse me. There's no natural filtering process that's, nah, this band sucks. We're not signing them. Who cares if they can play a guitar solo? Or, this isn't interesting. Now, granted, a lot of cool stuff falls through the cracks from that, way of thinking, but at the same time, a lot of crap doesn't get published professionally either.
Certainly.
So
to a certain extent, we kind of have to
take the good with the bad.
Yeah, take the good with the bad. But going back to anime reviews, these are people at the top. These are people who are writing for these high-level publications that are just not that good at reviewing anime as a product.
Don't forget also like game reviews of games from Japan, and where it's like, I don't know, like remember the Saren Kagura review?
That's you could call that some kind of, I don't know, cultural backlash or culture shock bullshit, I guess. Of some sort.
Saying like you should
because
just ignore it.
If something like that surprises you at this point, you clearly didn't have your head above the water.
Yeah.
Except it does surprise a lot of people still.
That's why, though. But that's why, though.
They probably didn't get into gaming until very recently. At least relatively recently. They probably didn't get into gaming in the Saturn era. And this is just my perspective, but they probably didn't get into gaming in the Saturn era or before. Because I almost said Nintendo. Because Japan dominated the console market back then. Dominated it.
I mean, if there's a better word than dominate, use that.
Yeah.
Really.
They were kings of the console market, and now it's a lot more level playing field. I'd actually say that the Western world is on top in terms of the console market, at least to the Western world. Because back then in the Western world, if you were playing a game, it was probably one on a Japanese console, and probably two was also Japanese. They were kings of the console market, and that's why I think a lot of those of us who got into gaming back then don't really bat an eye at this kind of stuff, because we understand that's the way it was, and we were playing Japanese games since we were children, and we liked it. We enjoyed it. We loved it.
To be fair, those games back then didn't have, like boobs bouncing like Sarah Kagura.
Well, you want to go back to like Dead or Alive, or?
Yeah, Dead or Alive was what, 95?
I mean, it's surprising how old that is.
And yeah, it still had the jiggle physics back then too. So it's like
I'm thinking more like, I don't know, like.
You can't possibly say the design for women characters was any better back then in terms of.
I mean, I played Tomb Raider.
Well, I don't want to sound like a MRA, tipping my fedora, but exactly. But what was I gonna say? But you have a lot more female gamers today than there were back then.
That much is 100% true.
So
certainly, but I don't really think that matters all that much.
No, but there's a lot of.
Did gaming really change all that much between 95 when I got into it and now? With regards to having to appeal more to women, because I don't think it did.
Not really. No.
There's more women.
And to a certain extent, we do see that statistic circulating around. What is it, like 48 or 49% of gamers are women? And certainly, but what are they playing?
Right.
What constitutes a gamer? Because people have wildly varying definitions of gamer. Is it someone who plays video games regularly? Is it someone who played a video game one time? Is it someone who plays Nintendo Wii, Xbox, PS3, PS4, PlayStation 2, Sega Saturn, Dreamcast? There are a lot more female gamers, but what are they playing?
But
that's important, and that's something we don't hear about.
It's also not just the female gamers, but like male feminists who want to appeal to.
Here's the thing: it's not just any one group or any one set of groups. The fact is that there is a focus now on this might just be me. But what I think is what killed this whole thing is the narrative focus. There are a lot of games and a lot of gamers and a lot of game journalistic outlets and a lot of people who commentate on games. A lot of them are really focused on narrative when gaming was never focused on narrative. Can anyone sit down, play Virtual On, and tell me what the story of that is? Because it's just you picking a robot and kicking the shit out of 10 other robots, and that's it.
I wouldn't even say necessarily that focus is what's really changed or anything like that. I mean, certainly, you do have people. Yeah, like I played a lot of old games that literally, they make no sense whatsoever without outside sources to tell you, what you're supposed to be really doing.
Or, I mean, games that just don't need a narrative. Someone tell me the narrative of Virtua Cop. You're a policeman, you shoot a bunch of guys. That's literally it. You shoot a bunch of guys, and then you shoot a big guy. It's like what's the story of Pac-Man? What's the story of Dead or Alive? And I know it has a story, but it doesn't matter because it's a fighting game. What's the story of Virtual Fight? And they're all the same, by the way. There's a big fighting tournament, and everyone has their own reason to be there, and they all fight. That's the story for Dead or Alive, Virtual Fighter, Street Fighter.
Soul Calibur.
What else? Soul Calibur. What else? I think Tekken, but I don't play bad games.
Well, you gotta get the Tekken people.
Oh no! Oh no! Eddie Gordo fans are gonna start mailing us hate mail.
Oh great! A bunch of button mashers are gonna be all up in my grill. Play a real fighting
they're
game.
gonna be raging with their fingers, misspelling every other word, trying to write some incoherent bullshit.
Let's play a balanced game. Let's play Virtual On. I will whip anyone's ass in Virtual On. No lie. But I gotta disagree with you, K-Gods. I do think it's the narrative focus because we see a whole lot of this stuff, and it's all based on narrative. None of it is based on gameplay, and that's what pisses me off about this whole thing. It's
the thing I used to love about this.
We're trying to turn games into movies by focusing on story and narrative
I hate
so
that
much.
Shit. Every time
that's the story. That's the focus. And
every time I see a video game commercial, they always show.
It's one big fucking cinematic.
They always show the cinematic. They never show the actual gameplay, and I'm like,
it's exactly like a movie trailer. We're trying to turn games into movies, and that's not gonna work out for us in the end because the thing that sets games apart, the thing that makes us our own medium is the player interaction, and there's been less and less and less focus on that, and more focus on the narrative, and that's the wrong way to be going. We're going in the wrong direction. Turn around.
Hate all you want on Nintendo, but they've been pretty good about that with their main franchise titles.
Yes, certainly, and I give them credit for that. Nintendo is different.
Yeah,
that right now, but
that's beyond the scope of this topic. Really, that's a whole nother kettle of worms we'll get to some other day. But one thing I will bring up, and I remember this specifically because when I was a little kid, when I first got my NES, me drinking lots of Kool-Aid and being super hyperactive and playing this was how I was acting yesterday. I mean, this isn't a very good descriptor, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Minus the Kool-Aid. I didn't drink Kool-Aid. But
someone spiked the Kool-Aid.
Right. Well, the thing is I remember a very prominent feminist actually said that people who played video games were losers back in the day. And I remember that this would be parroted to me by girls at school. I mean, at the time nobody cared because women had cooties, or some shit. That was kind of the stupid mentality there. That a lot of boys had. But at the same time, you were being told things like that. You play video games, you're a loser.
That was the narrative back in the 80s, early 90s.
I know. I was thinking, okay, well, at least I'm a happy loser.
Yeah,
Fuck y'all.
Yeah. I'm gonna do me.
You can do you. Guess who's not in jail?
and that was the narrative back in the 80s, early 90s, and now everyone's a gamer.
Did I mention that? That actually was a very specific reference there. There was a guy in junior high who used to just mock that all day long that I played video games. He's now in jail for rape, by the way.
Oh, nice. Outstanding.
What is it? So the lesson of this episode is if you don't play video games, you grow up to be a rapist. Oh shit! I don't play video games that much today anymore. Oh shit! I'm screwed.
No. See. While that's funny, it's not something I actually believe, like the serial killer space thing.
Yeah.
For those who.
But yeah, so it's like, so now everyone's a gamer, and
quote unquote.
Quote unquote. Well, here's the thing, and I think it goes back to the Roger Ebert thing, where he said games aren't art, and despite the fact that a whole bunch of people said, "Oh, this is Roger Ebert, what does he know about video games?" Despite the fact that there were a whole bunch of people saying that, I think that we really that the gaming populace at large started getting really concerned and having somewhat of an identity crisis with itself about where, like, it was this: are we art? Are we not art? Instead of just not caring.
I don't really
doing
care.
Video games.
Like, is this art? I don't care.
Oh, video games are art. Okay,
Oh.
okay, dude.
So I'd still rather
I'm
be
gonna
playing
spend
it than looking at some fucking mangled jungle gym in the front of your campus.
It's like, and that I feel like we still haven't recovered from that, where we said, okay,
I think
video games are art, and so now we have to prove that instead of just doing what we do.
Well, that goes back to the anime thing. We have to prove that anime is art.
Yeah, we gotta justify it to all the normals, right?
and quote unquote the social betters, as it were.
Social betters.
I hate that. I hate that concept. I really hate that concept. Not because I don't think there's like, I mean, no matter how you look at it, there really is a caste system. I mean,
Certainly.
really.
There's a hierarchy.
There are, and I'm not saying that's necessarily wrong that there is one, because it's natural. That just happens.
Nerd hierarchy.
Look at every because that's an artificial one though.
Yeah, nerd hierarchy was made up by the people who.
Which apparently bronies are at the bottom or something.
According to who?
I did see a chart that had like furries at the bottom, so I'm assuming furries and bronies.
Okay.
What is it like? Is it like one of those pyramids of wellness things?
I don't know.
you know.
What's
I think
the deal with
the
furries?
highest.
I don't get it.
I think if I vaguely remember, but I'm probably just guessing, I think the top was like literary sci-fi readers, science fiction readers.
So we know exactly who wrote that list.
Oh yeah.
Literary science fiction readers.
You know.
Gee, this wasn't a disgruntled Star Trek fan or anything.
Oh, dude, I remember hearing that even.
Does anyone understand why so much hate for furries? Because I don't understand. I don't get it.
It's an easy target.
Maybe, but I mean, there's a whole lot of them.
Well, but you gotta get inside the minds of some of these people. That's like,
no,
I'm a
their mind.
How do I get inside the mind of someone who's
stupid?
No, I'm just saying. Like, I'm assuming that their rationale is, I'm a nerd, but at least I'm not at
nerd.
Here's my rationale. You ready for this?
But that's that hierarchy.
I'm a nerd, but at least I'm not one of those guys who tries to make nerd hierarchy a thing. They can all go fuck themselves.
It really comes down to an insecurity. I mean, no matter how you chop it up, you look at it, you throw it up in the air, you play with it.
I might be below people on the ladder within regular society, but at least I'm at the top of the ladder with all these nerds, right? Jackasses.
But you also got it. There's also the thing about like the whole, all these guys aren't being self-aware, about what it is that they're liking. Oh, they probably have autism or Asperger's, just like another.
Why does everyone gotta be self-aware when really they're saying that everyone should like not like the stuff they like, and like everyone should laugh at themselves basically because they're laughing at them. Like why do we gotta laugh at ourselves?
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's more of a self-deprecating kind of.
There's a difference between self.
There's a difference between self-deprecating humor and I want you guys to feel bad because you like a thing I don't like.
Well, right, and this goes back to that insecurity thing. I think. I mean, it all does, really, because
Really, it does.
I mean, you can actually see just in the wording they choose to use and the things they choose to say that they're incredibly insecure. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, they're really concerned what society at large thinks of them.
Oh yeah.
And to me, that's like, who gives a shit? I'm probably never gonna even see this fucker again.
Who cares?
Concerned white guy. Was it like when? I'm sorry, but I was gonna say when these
concerned white people.
About Japan.
Japan's population, concerned white people. You guys are not breeding with the rest of the first world, at least in the correct proportions here. We're gonna have to kind of make a lot of noise about that.
Yeah.
Signed, sincerely, concerned white people.
Like, why do people care so much? Like, it's this whole hiding your power level thing. It's like, why do people care so much about that?
There's a lot of factors there, I think. I mean, all of them lead back to, as I said, seemingly insecurity. People care about what other people think of them. Like way too much.
And I care what other people think of me, but I don't care like what random Joe
I care what people
Donut.
I know think about me.
Exactly. I care about people who I
associate with,
or who I wish to associate with, care about me. But
I mean,
Joe Donut, who walks down the parking lot, sees an anime figure in the rear window of my car, and judges me because of that, even though he doesn't know me. I'm not even there for him to bitch to, and judges me for that. I don't care.
It's like it's very akin to I don't know, just like some jackass over in the fucking Middle East ranting about they hate America. Do I really care? Not really. Do they hate me specifically? Probably not. If they do I care? No.
No. At the end
why
of the
do I
day,
not care? Because it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna do what I do.
I'm gonna do.
And there's nothing none of these people are gonna stop me.
Is it just me, or do these people have extreme like utopian pipe dreams or something? Like they're gonna change the world. They're gonna make it a better place. And no, you're not.
They're gonna make it a better place for them.
A better place?
A better place is completely relative to the person.
And meanwhile...
You know what?
I'm killing anime.
Meanwhile, he's making the world a better place for us.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet, no questions asked, that if you were to take a random Ethiopian person, they would rather live in my situation. All the crap and, flooded hallway or whatever. Than theirs.
Yeah.
Oh, that was just like me yesterday watching some videos of the Occupy Wall Street. Yeah, I know.
Oh, why?
And bad call number one.
There were, they had people, they had, the protest people.
Oh yeah.
And they were talking.
People from the Soviet Union.
Yeah, people that
all fucking stupid.
Yeah, I love that. I was like, yeah. And what is it? Then all right. Here's another little ranty thing. When people complain about, something being, when they use the term, oh, the show is documentary ready. Like when they complain that a show is made to design to sell product, and it's like
basically like anime.
I guess Evangelion was documentary already because I got the Evangelion documentary. In fact, it's actually right behind Rio Nanase there.
Or I'm like, these people must have not lived in the 80s and 90s when
they did. Most of them.
These people must not live now.
They must have just spontaneously grew into full-scale adults in the 2000s. Like I exist.
They're
now.
millennials. They're fucking annoying.
Well, it's not being a millennial that makes them annoying. Cause I'm
I'm not saying all millennials. I'm not saying all millennials.
It's not they're dumb. They're self-righteous, and they just don't like when it's not even that they don't like when stuff is made to sell stuff. It's that they don't like when stuff is made to sell stuff that they don't like.
I was going to jokingly say, look, I'm not saying all millennials are annoying. What I'm saying is all annoying people are millennials. Wait. That ain't right. Nah. I actually, almost seriously said that because I got my dialogue. Kind of went into dyslexic mode there. I think we should go to a break. We're getting kind of...
I do think we should go to a break. So we're going to take a break. Keep it right here on NTR Radio.
Remember the Alamo!
Okay. And music.
Am I the only person who always found that just a funny thing to yell?
Remember the Alamo?
Remember, it's just like when people yell, play some standard at any concert you're at that, has a person with a guitar.
I think it was this
Play Magic Bus. Alright, we'll play Magic Bus.
By the way, I got a new sign-off.
Ballin'.
I know yours is Stay Frosty. I'm like, damn it, I need one too. One that I can just pull out whenever I want to,
7S.
Stay Sassy.
S. S2. Capital S. There we go.
Remember when Ozzy peed on the Alamo? He got banned from Texas. I mean, playing there.
Oh, I was about to say, banned from Texas. Sounds like they did him a favor.
No. They actually just banned him from actually playing
I shouldn't
live.
say that. I have friends who live in Texas.
Me too. They're not my friends because they live in Texas. I mean, no, it's not one of those deals. Like it's like, Texas. It's really big. It is too. A lot of people don't realize that until you've driven through it. A lot of good food, though. I've been a lot of places in this country, and one of the things I always do check out is the cuisine.
Gotta say, out of places I've been to, the best food has probably come from New Orleans.
Ooh, yeah, a lot of Cajun stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. not too big.
Because we lived there for a while, my parents still cook it every now and then.
Oh,
like
that's got to be a
gumbo.
rare delicacy.
Oh man. Crawfish.
We need that Homer pick. Like, with the drool just kind of...
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. You probably don't want to drool on yourself, though. So.
No. I don't think I could produce that much drool on demand.
No, not like that. He's salivating like Pavlov's
Yeah,
dog.
just...
It's like, But plus, you're not wearing like a tube top that's too short.
Yeah. Thankfully.
Mercifully, no. I hopefully nobody is.
Is it from Stella?
Yes.
Feels like I'm in the lounge. Not the one in School Days, mind you. Well, I do have a trash can full. No, I don't have a trash can. I do have a trash can, but it's not filled with recently used prophylactics or.
That entire scene was disgusting. It was like, empty the bin.
Like for real. At least get the cleaning people in here once in a while.
You're buying that on DVD, are you?
School Days?
Yeah.
Of course I am.
Absolutely. Any anime that can make me that mad deserves my money.
Oh yeah, seriously. We almost have to do a retrospective on that. Like, I don't.
School Days retrospective.
Well,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
haven't seen School Days, but you guys,
the right rewriting, or not necessarily rewriting, but although that might be funny too. It's one of those things you keep doing every once in a while. It's like, I need inspiration. I'm gonna write about School Days. Piss me off.
Okay. So how many more dumb things do we have?
I think we should just talk to the question.
I think we should just do the mail and any other squirrel.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
All right. Okay. Oh, that's set. That's set. That's set. Ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to NTR Radio. So after a long second segment, we're just gonna move right into the mail.
Right, because that went off track to begin with, and it just went over probably time than we actually were really. We probably went over time.
To a certain extent, though, I don't really care that we went over time or we went off track because the discussion was really good.
Plus,
Okay.
I'm starting to get a little. I need my sweepy time.
Okay,
All right.
so
Here we go. This one's from Jekyll Geek.
you forgot to
And
play the
it reads
noise.
thusly. Oh, do I still even have that?
Incoming message.
Yes, I do. This one's coming from Jekyll Geek, and it reads thusly. Hello, NTR. I have some new questions and comments for you. 1. Have any one of you considered watching No Game, No Life? It has the best emoto of the season, as well as being an all-around fun show.
I've seen pics of it. It doesn't really look ultra appealing to me for it. But because I already have what I want for the season, but that's just me.
I think I'll give it a look. I try to give anything at least. It's something I haven't ever watched any episodes of yet, so I can't really form an opinion on the actual show. Just like a preview image or synopsis.
I mean, some of the pics look decent for it. It's just, you said that there's a Moto character, but oh yeah, I've seen the pic. She has like long blue, whitish, like light blue hair. That's probably the one that he's mentioning. If that's.
Yeah, I've seen pictures, and a couple of my friends are really pumped about it, so I'm going to give it a try.
It can't hurt. The worst that could happen is, it's not my bag,
Exactly. Plus, I do really like the design of the little sister character. And neat girls are my thing. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
That's because to get all Freudian on you for a minute, you're projecting your actual wants.
I'm actually pumped for the show next season that's coming, the one that Madhouse is going to do, the Moe show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Madhouse is interesting in the sense that I usually like what they do as long as they're not trying to do like crossovers or something like that.
Of course, now we have people, rest in peace, Madhouse. You used to be great. Now you're, but just like the Pete Dynax people and just,
Wah.
Which I'm like, gee, you people forgot about Fur O'Connor last year, didn't you?
I forgot about Gunslinger Girl. Anyway, second question, number 2. On the topic of anime to show to new fans, I agree that Girls in Ponzu is a good choice, as it's sort of the slice of life show at points, but is less hardcore slice of life than most of the genre. I did note a lack of shonen entries in your list, which is a bit odd since that's the most popular genre. Yeah, I don't watch very many shonen anime, so I wouldn't have the kind of perspective required to recommend people.
If you are gonna watch one, I recommend Rurouni Kenshin. For a couple reasons. One, it actually ends. That's nice.
I will say, not for someone younger, only the movie, but I really recommend the Fist of the North Star movie.
Yeah.
The 1986 movie.
Yep.
I just really like that. But generally,
that's not to say I completely hate it. I mean, like I said, I genuinely like Rurouni Kenshin. One, it actually ends, like I said. it ends. It's a lot more compact. There's not nearly as many, ridiculous like arcs where
we
there's
don't get
nothing
filler.
happening. And there's actually some real Japanese history you can take in from it.
I still say that.
Which it's obviously mixed in with the fake, the story.
I still say that.
But, a lot of that stuff was, there were a lot of real people in that show.
I still say that you could show K-On! The people as like
I think
Depends
K-On!
on the
would
person.
definitely work. It
Depends
depends on what the person likes, but I think K-On! Can definitely work with the right kind of person.
Are these girls retarded?
Yeah, that's
not that
obviously
kind of
not the right person.
Is that girl in special ed?
I mean, I know I'm gonna get it for this probably by someone, but even DBZ.
I like DBZ.
I mean, I crap on it a lot, but it's all in good fun.
It's real easy to make fun of. It's really.
It really is. It's got all the trappings that a lot of shonen does. Filler arcs and episodes.
I think DBZ can work as an example of the shonen genre. Well, the shonen fighting genre.
And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I still geek out over it every once in a while or something ridiculous. Like, okay, hands in the air. I'm gonna be honest here. I still love watching Vegeta kill a bunch of annoying fucking other baddies, like some of Frieza's underlings that he's obviously dealt with before. I don't know.
Would you say that because I know Attack on Titan's getting a lot of people, like, people who only watch anime, like, on TV?
The thing with those people is, if they're only going to watch it on TV, they're never going to really see what it can do. Because...
as far as introducing people to anime goes, those people already watch anime.
Right. They're just watching it on TV for convenience in some cases.
So it's not like...
I know that's why I watched Toonami.
They already watch it.
When I would come home from from school or whatever, I'd watch stuff mostly because there was nothing else on and it was something I at least enjoyed.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying I enjoyed some of the iffy dubs or the cuts and edits and all that crap, but what else was on? I mean, obviously you could read a book or something, but but you know what I'm saying.
Not a sports page, not a magazine. But yeah, that's it for the email.
Okay. All right. So we could kind of just talk about some of the things that have been kind of going on in personal life or whatever. I have realized something over the last week or so, and that is Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link manages to frustrate me a lot. It's the only Zelda game that's canon, that counts, that is a side-scroller.
Which system is this?
NES.
Oh, the original, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
God, I'm tired.
I don't dislike it because it uses the side-scrolling, more technical kind of combat system. I don't really dislike it because of that. I dislike it because it's cheap. You can die instantaneously in this game. I don't think you can really do that in most other Zelda games. But you can not be knocked into water or lava or pit or whatever and instantly die. And like all good NES games, when you get hit, you get knocked back.
Naturally.
I mean, it's not like an arc or anything where
So it's just like that stage in Ninja Gaiden with the wind. Knocks you back.
Yeah, except that happens even when there's not wind, by the way.
That's what I meant. Yeah, just.
Yeah, it's just NES games did that. When you get hit, you got knocked back. Now, as later in the lifespan of the system, you would see that didn't happen as much. I mean, or it wasn't as drastic of a hit like that. But early on, it's like if you got hit near a pit, you're dead. You really are, pretty much. Very, very unlikely you are going to survive. It's just really more. It's annoying. I mean, that's all there is to it. It's a trial by error game design flaw.
Yeah.
That's why when the Genesis and the SNES came out, you didn't see nearly as much of that kind of crap.
Genesis does. Which, by the way, they're doing a figure of. I know you're not a Transformers fan, but they're doing a figure in Japan of Megatron that transforms into the Mega Drive.
Nice.
And it's not the same size as the actual.
Does it have the add-ons?
Naturally.
It does.
Does it have like a 32X for a head?
No, it does. It does have a cartridge though.
Like like a Sega CD back end,
or
or like a side unit,
That would make some interesting armor.
32X. It takes a while to load. The robot doesn't form very fast once it gets to that part, but if you played a 32X, you understand that joke. I remember playing the Mortal Kombat version they released on there. I was like, damn, dude, load times suck. I don't know. I guess that's the when you play something like that at arcades and then you play the console version, it's like, it was never as good. Never, at least back then anyway. And nowadays you just don't see that anymore hardly at all anyway.
You just don't see arcades.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you don't just see arcades.
Which
is a shame because that's where some of the best gaming happened.
And some of the funniest shit you would see happened too, in terms of fights and things breaking out. Also, when Dance Dance Revolution first came out, that was a good weekend. That was a good weekend to just hang out at the mall, playing arcade games and stuff. Some of them had like the tokens and shit. Some of them you had to to put your money in for the tokens because they wanted to be inconvenient like that. But you'd see two. It would never fail. So you'd always see two drunk dudes playing DDR. You'd always see these two guys that were completely plastered. They could barely walk straight. Oh, I can beat you. They ended up falling on their ass and they were terrible, but they were fun to watch. I'm such a people person.
Considering I'm also browsing a thread on 4chan about pregnant lollies that I started. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
You started. I like that.
Yeah. I like how you added that in there.
Yeah. That's so good.
Or how about
God, I'm awful.
You could tell one of the stories about when you got kicked off of there before.
Well, I don't even use my name there anymore.
Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna say that was kind of unnecessary.
Oh no, yeah, I've been. Oh, you mean like when you're banned for a few days for posting you gotta be careful because there are monitors there.
Banned from 4chan. That to me, that's doing you a
not
favor.
work safe stuff.
It's kind of humorous. It just seems funny, like a
like an oxymoron.
Being banned from a site like 4chan.
Yeah.
like what could you have possibly have done to be banned from 4chan? It's like, oh, I posted in the wrong thread. Oh, okay. Wow, hardcore over there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're all like on A, which is supposed to be a work safe board, you're not supposed to post non-work safe stuff. But whatever, it's stupid.
Well,
it should be all.
Yeah, okay. 4chan. Why are you on 4chan at work?
Yeah, precisely.
I mean, like, is it that? Are you that obsessed where you need it in your life while you're at the job?
I hope I never get to that level.
I didn't think you went there at all.
It's like I go there.
I go there for wallpaper sometimes.
Wallpaper sometimes. I go there for porn. It's like.
Well, yeah, okay, okay. It's wrong to say I don't go there. I don't go there habitually.
Exactly.
I will say, you will agree that at least like it's the best place to talk about Moe and Loli and not be not have it turn into a thing.
I don't usually.
I wouldn't say it's the best place. It's the least bad place.
Yeah, I don't go there to talk at all. I don't post there.
I know you know, but I'm saying like to a noob, it's like at least reading what they say.
It's the least bad place.
Yeah, that's
I I do, however,
Fair
like when I posted on Anime Criticism Part 2, and
Yeah.
how you remember a bunch of people got mad about that, but the people who actually were gearing up, people who were actually having the discussion that I was trying to spur, 4chan's A. Despite how bad every A is to everyone else, they were actually having that discussion when everyone else was just being mad. So I can't really say A is like a horrible place, because they have some actually meaningful discussion there. It's mixed in with all this shit posting, but
of course it is.
they actually have some meaningful discussion there to a certain extent. They do that to a greater degree than a lot of other people do, and a lot of other people who claim to be all up with the discussion do. So
as opposed to people that are just freaking out about the existence of free.
yeah.
another 5-minute controversy.
Controversy that turned into a 10-minute controversy when a bunch of self-righteous people decided that they were going to press the attack, so to speak.
Well, not only that, wasn't that the thread that got closed for MRA?
No.
Intrusion? No, that was yours.
That was mine. Yeah. What was that, 79 pages, was it? 70-something pages?
Something ridiculous like that. And it's funny because that's the reason it really got closed. Another reason was given, but
I will not speculate one way or the other. Anyway,
all right, guys, I think we gotta wrap this up.
We should probably sign off right about now. The email address is ntrradio@gmail.com. The website is she'slostcontrol.net/podcast. You should check out all the other podcasts. The other podcasts on She's Lost Control Media, Podcast Zero. They're really good. Check out my stuff on YouTube.
Check out my artwork on Pixiv and
check
DeviantArt.
out VZ's artwork on Pixiv. Check out VZ's artwork on DeviantArt. The YouTube address, which I messed up, was youtube.com/TEAnubis. I'm Tom Forster Anubis.
I'm out, and I'm K-Odds. Non-servium.
And I'm VZ Mark II, who's getting really tired now.
And even though we hear someone else say something really dumb every time we say it, this is NTR Radio. And recording stopped.
Excellent.